a lesson reviewing the transversals that we've talked about in the past. So this particular problem says in the diagram, lines C and D are parallel. If the measure of angle 1 in the figure at the right is 40 degrees, determine the measure of each given angle using only angle relationships. Then check your answers by measuring each angle. Right now, I am just focused on talking about the transversal, which means that there's a line intersecting two lines that are parallel, which we have displayed here. So we're going to use some of the rules that we know about. So first of all, angle 1. Angle 1 and angle 3 have a relationship. Those are what we call vertical angles. So if angle 1 is 40 degrees, that means that angle 3 is also 40 degrees. Now we're going to look at angles 1 and 2 together. We know they form a straight line, and we also know that we call those supplementary. It means that when they're added together, they make 180 degrees. So to find angle 2, we need to figure out what is 180 minus 40. Well, we do some quick mental math and realize that that is just 140 degrees. So we can now fill in a little bit of this information. So we still need angle 4 in these top angles. So if we look at this, we know that angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical angles, and you can also see that angle 4 and 3 are supplementary. Angle 1 and 4 is supplementary. So there's a lot of ways that we can come up with our answer, but in the end we know that it is 140 degrees. Let's look at this bottom part of the transversal. So first of all, we've got to remember what some of these things mean. So if we have angle 1 and angle 5, we're looking at those and we call those corresponding angles. Okay, so that means that they are equal. I gave an example of a car. So you have the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and then the back behind the driver's seat and behind the passenger seat. And now you're just looking at it as if there's a car right behind down here. All of that said, it was just to remind you that if they're in, let's say, the driver's seat here, then they would need to be there on the second part of the transversal. So that means angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent, which means they are both 40 degrees. We could also say angle 2 and angle 6 are congruent. So that means that those are both 140 degrees because they are corresponding. And we also have something called alternate exterior. So if we're looking at the alternate exterior, I'm going to put a green marker on those. So if we're looking for the alternate exterior of angle 1, exterior means there is on the outside of these two lines. So it would all the exterior angles are on the outsides of those. So we're looking at angle 7 for being the alternate exterior because they're opposite from one another, they're not right beside each other, and they're also on the outside of those parallel lines. So angle 1 and angle 7 are congruent, meaning this would be 40 degrees. And then finally we have angle 8, and we know using the same exact theorem that 140 degrees is the measure of angle 8 because again it is an alternate exterior angle. So we know that will be 140 degrees because angle 8 is an alternate exterior angle with angle 2. Now just as a reminder, we didn't use this or need this in particular, but the angles on the insides of those green parallel lines, on the inside, those are called interior angles. So, for example, an interior angle would be angle 3 and angle 5. Those are alternate interior angles because they're not right beside each other. They're opposite from each other, but they're both on the inside of the parallel lines. So those are alternate interior angles. So this is just a quick review of transversals and some of those terms that we've been using in class and how to start with one degree or angle that we've measured and then be able to figure out what all the other angles in the figure of the transversal is.